Welcome to our webinar, The Secret to Increasing Bookings, How to Eliminate Admin, Increase Sales, and Grow Your Business. My name is Kathleen, and I'm the Head of Marketing at MarketBox. I am joined by Diana Goodwin, who is the founder and CEO of MarketBox, as well as the founder of AquaMobile. Of course, we'll be diving into her tips and advice for growing a service business. After all, AquaMobile grew to become one of the largest provider of at-home swim lessons in Canada, US, and Australia. But before we start, we'll do a little introduction of who MarketBox is. Over to you, Diana.
Absolutely. So MarketBox is appointment scheduling software specifically designed for businesses offering in-home or mobile services. So we aim to simplify the booking and payment process by having a simple, elegant, easy-to-use booking flow for your customers to self-book and pay online. And this is pretty key because not all booking systems are created equal. And if you want to increase your sales, you have to make it easy for the consumer to book online with as few steps as possible, not try and gatekeep information from them or make them fill out a ton of different fields. So that's some of the things that we're constantly, enhancing on our system to make it even faster for your customers to make bookings. The next thing that the MarketBox system really offers is it's intelligent. We offer things like smart matching and scheduling automations to improve provider utilization rates, minimize drive time back and forth, and improve satisfaction. If they don't have to drive around as much, they're going to be happier and they'll be able to make more money in a shorter amount of time. The system is also highly flexible. So what we noticed is a lot of systems out there, like older online booking systems or ones that were built on top of older systems, they don't have a lot of flexibility in terms of the business use cases. And so we wanted to make a system that was extremely flexible so that you could sell your services in any configuration that makes sense for you and do it in a way where you can collect payments, whether it's upfront, at the end of the appointment. And we feel that that flexibility is super important so that you can bring your business online and not be forced to try and fit a square peg in a round hole. And the final thing is connected systems. So we really believe in making it easy for systems to connect and talk with each other, and also give you insights from all of the data that pumps through the MarketBox system. We feel that the old way of kind of closing off and forcing businesses to stick to one system is dead. And every business should be able to configure things and set things up seamlessly to create whatever experience they want.
Perfect. Thank you, Diana. And we will be actually doing a demo at the end of the presentation, so be sure to stay around for that. And so before we get started into the tips and advice from Diana, just a few housekeeping items. So this webinar is being recorded, so we will be sending it out afterwards in case you want to share with your friends or your peers, or just simply want to review some of the advice shared today. And we'll also be emailing you the resources that we're going to be highlighting throughout this presentation. You are on mute right now, but you can still ask questions through the Zoom interface. And so please submit them. We will get to them at the end of the demo. They'll all be answered. And at the end of the presentation, you'll receive a survey. It'll pop up as soon as you close the window. Please take the time to fill it in. It only helps us build better webinars and be able to share information with all of you folks. And so if you could just complete that, 3 simple questions, be really greatly appreciated. So without further ado, let's dive into these steps. Back to you, Diana.
Great. So the first thing when it comes to increasing bookings is making it simple for your customers to book with you and doing so online. This is just an example here. You can see on the screen of what AquaMobile's booking flow looks like. I think the big thing about this is a lot of businesses don't even realize how much money they're leaving on the table by not offering online booking, because a lot of customers will come to your website and they'll see if they have to fill out a contact form or can't get hold of you because they're visiting your website at 1 o'clock in the morning and you're obviously not open then, they'll bounce and they might not come back. They're going to go to the businesses that make it easy to book online. So make it simple. When choosing a booking system, make sure that you're making it easy for your customers. So, systems that are making a customer create a login before they even see the availability or the services that you offer is not a good user experience. And customer expectations are changing rapidly. They expect instant service. They expect it to be quick, and they will go basically to the companies that are able to offer that. Making sure that you're clearly describing and listing your services and not having very long-winded description is also extremely helpful. People have short attention spans these days, so the easier you can make it for them to just power through is going to really help with those conversion rates. And personalize the booking experience as well. And one of the things that at AquaMobile we've chosen to do for that is we want our swim instructors to actually have their biography and picture up so that customers can get to know the potential instructors more. Not every business has to do that. You don't have to do that on the MarketBox system. That's just kind of what AquaMobile has chosen to do.
Perfect. And you'll see our first free resource on the screen. I'll also put the link into the chat, but it's the ultimate guide to increasing sales, which includes a lot more tips and tricks that you'll hear today and beyond. Diana, question for you. Were there any changes that you made to your site where you saw, any tweaks or updates where you saw a notable increase in bookings?
Yeah, actually, it's something that we've continued to refine over at AquaMobile. And one of them has been to make really clear call to actions across the website and put multiple call to actions. One is not enough. We've constantly done that. And we've also done it in our emails out to customers, constantly encouraging them to self-book online. We still obviously give them the option if they want to call in, but we're highly encouraging them in everything that we do to do things online so that they can get the fastest booking possible.
Great. I guess on to step 2.
So the next thing is to make sure that you're scheduling your team efficiently so that you can increase productivity. Also, by increasing productivity, that also encompasses being able to fit more customers into a given time frame. And by doing that, that also will increase employee satisfaction and prevent burnout. So what we do at AquaMobile is we organize our team based on availability and travel zones. So one of the changes that we've made over time is actually moving towards smaller travel zones for each swim instructor so that they're not crisscrossing town where they might get stuck in rush hour, for example. That's been huge, and it's allowed each instructor to take on more customers in a given time period than they were in the past. The next thing in terms of increasing productivity and employee satisfaction, we are also sending out automated SMS and email reminders to the team and to the clients. This was something that we didn't, prior to MarketBox, we didn't have all of this automated in multiple ways. We didn't have the mobile app for the providers to easily access things on the go. And so So that's been a huge help for AquaMobile. It's cut down on the admin work. It's cut down on things falling through the cracks, like no shows on both ends, right? Sometimes the clients, just forget, even though you send them that initial schedule, sometimes that's not enough. And yeah, I think the biggest thing that we didn't have over at AquaMobile in the past until we switched to the MarketBox platform was the mobile app for the swim instructors. And that's allowed them to, to even better keep in touch, quickly see where, click on a link to have them go to the next house that they need to attend. So that's really improved productivity.
Amazing. And we have 2 free guides or templates on this section. One is your provider zone travel tracker. So as Diana was mentioning, keeping those travel zones tight, as well as custom email templates that you can use for your reminders and follow-ups.
So the next thing that we've done, there's a number of tactics that we've used at AquaMobile to increase the average sale size per client, and increase the amount of returning customers. So one of the things that we do is we sell our services in packages. So we actually do not allow any customers just to buy single appointments. They must commit to a package up front. And in our case, we've chosen packages of 5, 10, or 15 lessons, and they pay for that up front. So they're committing to the swim instructor, they're committing to us. And we've also baked into that discounts if they purchase more. If they purchase a 10-pack or a 15-pack, they get discounts. And so that's been really well received, and it keeps them feeling like, yes, I want to commit, and they're incentivized to do so. The other thing is keeping track of various milestones or trigger points where we want to send out some automated email marketing. So for example, sending out an email to them, thanking them for their business when an order is placed, or at the anniversary of their first lesson, or seeing kind of when their number of credits that they've got on the system is running low. We also send out automated emails for that as well. The other big strategy that we've done is really leveraging our swim instructors, like our service providers, to basically to promote themselves as well. And one of the great things about the MarketBox system for that is each service provider will have what's called a permalink. And so that permalink will, when a customer goes and clicks on it, it will take that customer directly to that swim instructor's profile. So they can just book with that swim instructor, and you're driving sales specifically to them. So, even at AquaMobile, when we have a new instructor that's come and joined the team in a certain area, we'll even email out and say, hey, we've got, instructor Janet has joined us over in this town here. Like, here's where you can book her, right? And it works well on both sides, because then the new swim instructor is excited because they've gotten their first bookings in a quick time frame, and it's we can funnel customers or leads directly to whoever might have more availability, for example.
Amazing. And last step is, so, using AquaMobile, how did you end up implementing all of those tips and tricks?
Yeah, so for this, I wanted to really kind of get into some of the tactical things, and happy to answer more things as well in the Q&A, because I think there's a lot of things, a lot of data in the MarketBox system that AquaMobile has been able to utilize to reduce admin headaches or even increase sales or efficiency. So one of the the cool things is back before we automated all of this, the swim instructors at AquaMobile used to submit timesheets every 2 weeks, right? And we would have hundreds of swim instructors sending in these timesheets. It was super easy to make a payroll mistake. It would take so long. But with the MarketBox system, AquaMobile is able to process hundreds of swim instructors every 2 weeks, and the payroll processing time only takes between 90 minutes and 2 hours to do hundreds of people. And that's because instead of using all of these timesheets, now what happens is each swim instructor can mark off from the mobile app or the desktop version. They can mark off when they've completed a lesson. And then the person who runs payroll for AquaMobile, she literally will go and download a report from a certain set of days, download that, and run a few calculations, and then she's off to the races. It's all set and done. The next thing that's been really helpful to kind of keep nurturing leads and increase sales from that perspective is the waitlist functionality that MarketBox has. So what happens is if a customer comes to AquaMobile's booking flow, types in their address, and either doesn't see availability that works for them, or they just don't see a swim instructor at all, what happens is we have a form that pops up in the MarketBox system that will collect that information from the user so they can go on our wait list. And then AquaMobile has done a whole automated process with that via like a Zapier HubSpot integration to automate that whole waitlist process and let people know, let the waitlist people know when we do have someone available in their area. And another cool one that we just actually implemented in 2023 is the abandoned cart list that comes from MarketBox. So basically, we can see which customers have gone and created an account, like they've gone so far as to find a swim instructor, pick their days and times, and are just about ready to pay, but for whatever reason they don't. So we can get that information from MarketBox, and we also use a Zapier integration to feed that information and create a list that's always updating so that the AquaMobile team can go and either call or do automated emails to say, hey, we noticed you didn't book. Like, is there a reason? Can we help you book or find out what happened? So that's been super effective. We already talked about the the personal booking links. Like we've seen swim instructors posted on their Instagram or other social media so that people can book them or refer their friends very easily. And a couple other features, I'll talk about them in two parts. The first one is tipping. So we have chosen to send out, so AquaMobile has chosen to send out automated text messages after every lesson asking the customers how their lesson went with their swim instructor. And they rate between 1 to 5 stars, and the MarketBox system captures that information, and then the AquaMobile team can see that, so they can then have all sorts of data on which swim instructors are the top rated. If there's any issues that have risen, you can tell because someone will give you like a 1 or 2 star. So that's been sorry, I ended up mixing the tipping and I went into reviews because they are kind of together. But anyways, when the customer goes and rates the instructor, they also have the ability to leave an optional tip. And that, so it's kind of a review piece and then a tipping piece. And the tipping has been highly well received by the swim instructors because now they're even more incentivized to do well, knowing that their customers can tip. And I've seen some crazy tips in there. People are getting tipping their instructors like $100 or $200 even. So very happy customers, which is awesome to see. And also from a business point of view, now AquaMobile can take that data and do so much with it. So now that you've got those reviews of who's rating you 5 stars, you can go and send them a separate email, first of all, thanking them for that and asking them to go and post on Google My Business or Facebook reviews. So really helpful to have that information. Yeah, I would say maybe one other thing that's not on here that I will add is just all of the additional data that AquaMobile's been able to analyze and use regarding the swim instructor performance, who's doing well, whose schedule is too full that they're at risk of burning out, and we need to kind of monitor that. There's so much good stuff in there that's really just helped just better keep tabs on everything that's happening with the business and be able to tweak it and make operational improvements that benefit, you know, everyone from the end, like the consumer, the swim instructors, and the admin team.
That's great. Thank you so much, Diana. I'm sure everybody can take away a few tips from here and try it in their own business. I think for me, hearing about AquaMobile's success, you know, it's easy to see that, you know, making it easier for your customers to book and reducing all that admin work, you know, that is going to lead to your success. And I'm sure nobody here wants to do admin work. So I think that's a good takeaway. And so at this point, actually, we want to take you through a simple booking flow of how somebody would want or be able to book with MarketBox a service for your business. And so we've developed a fictitious company called Dolphin Swim. And Diana, do you want to walk us through how easy it is to book a swim lesson?
Sure. So this is kind of the main screen. So if you have a marketing website, you would just have a book now button, and the user could come to this screen. You can customize all of these things, different fonts, different background image, list your services by category, give little descriptions with the pricing. So Kathleen, why don't we go ahead and book a 60-minute swim lesson?
Okay.
So the customer can come to your website and they would just enter in the address where they want the service provider to come to. And you can also see, administrators can do this as well. But the system is only going to display the service providers that can travel to that location. So this is the power of the system. It can allow you to expand to hundreds or thousands of service provider, and the customer is not going to get overwhelmed. They're only going to see the relevant service providers for them. And you can see, as a business owner, you would have the ability to decide, do you want to post reviews for customers to see? Do you want to post certain stats? So a lot of managed marketplaces like to post, the acceptance rate percentage or the time to respond. But each provider can post their photo and a bio and their skills. So, the user can choose whichever one is the right fit for them. And, in this case, you can see that that there's credits from a previously purchased package that a user can see because they can use their credits at a future time. But we're going to go ahead and buy a new package. And the system will only display the times that are available. It will also factor in existing bookings that you have. So it will block out travel time so that you don't have any kind of overlapping bookings. You can, basically the user can just pick the time they want. They can either book multiple sessions at once, or they can just go and check out and come back at a future time to book the rest of their appointments. And so we connect in with Stripe as the payment processor. And so if you're looking to collect payments, the customer will enter in their credit card, and they'll go ahead and hit the pay button, and that's it. There's definitely some more advanced settings that you can do, like especially for the businesses that use MarketBox for managed marketplaces. They will actually, instead of charging the customer immediately, they will end up asking the service provider first, double confirming to make sure that the service provider can still go to that time. And if that service provider declines the booking, the system will shoot it out to any other service provider that can provide that service at that location. So those are some of the more advanced features that are available on the professional plan.
Great. Thank you for walking us through that. If you have any questions, feel free, to put them into the Q&A, and we will be sure to answer them. But before we dive into that, you want to summarize everything we learned today?
Yeah, so, we talked about the importance of making it simple and easy for your customers to book with you, because this is what's going to lead to you being able to turn more leads into sales. And the big thing is that most people don't realize just how much money they leave on the table with customers bouncing off of their website. The second thing is to increasing your bookings is to make sure that you're scheduling your team efficiently and effectively to increase their productivity, their revenue per hour. And all of these things will help lead to more happy employees. The third thing is making sure that you're constantly thinking about what strategies and tactics that you can use in your business to keep your customers coming back. And a lot of that comes down to leveraging data and turning that into automations. There's so many automation tools out there that you can pair kind of with either happening in the MarketBox system, or you can pair with another system to make that happen. And the final thing is make sure that you're leveraging software, not just to make it easy for your customers to book, but to also save time and resources within your organization. We've heard countless stories of businesses that have been able to really cut down on their admin costs by automating certain key functionalities, or such as the payroll for their service providers.
Perfect. And if you would like to get your own personalized demo of MarketBox, see if it's the right fit for your business, visit us at www.gomarketbox.com, or you can simply email us, respond to one of the emails you received as part of this webinar, and we'd be happy to schedule some time for you to get an in-depth walkthrough of the MarketBox system. And so let's dive into the Q&A. We're going to be on here for a little bit longer, so if you have questions, just put them through and we'll be sure to answer it. And so the first question, Diana, that we have is, does it work for someone wanting to charge a booking fee and not for the person's time, or is it only for complete billings?
Yeah, so there's a lot of different things that you can do in terms of flexible payments. So you absolutely can just charge a booking fee. We allow that on a percentage or dollar basis. We've also seen companies use collect deposits on the system, and then after the service is completed, once they have a better idea, once the service provider has a better idea of the actual work that needs to be done or the number of hours put in at that customer's house, from the mobile app, they will then go and add an additional charge. So tons of ways to kind of make the payments work for your business.
Perfect. I have another question here. What if we don't want to allow our clients to pick their instructor or provider? Can we skip that step altogether?
Yes, you can. So we have actually it's a newer feature that's being launched on on MarketBox because we had a lot of companies come to us and say, we love your system, but we don't want to allow our customers to pick a specific service provider. It's not necessary for my plumbing company or, you know, whatever company, right? We've had this multiple times. So we are actually, we've got a new setting basically where you can have your users actually skip a couple steps of the booking process. They no longer have to pick a specific person, and your customers will just be shown specific times that they can book, and then they will be assigned a service provider based on, you know, utilization rate or round robin.
Perfect. Hope that answered your question. Feel free to put them into the Q&A box, or if you happen to think about something, you know, after the webinar, feel free to email us and we'll be sure to get back to you. But we have a couple more questions to go. How are travel zones created in MarketBox? Is it the business owner or the instructor that need to build these out?
Yeah, so it can be done both ways. I've seen companies do it. Some companies say we want to very much control the territories that each of our service providers has. And so they will go in and set up the service provider travel zones and make sure that there's no overlap. So I've seen it that way. And then I've also seen, this is more for what I call the managed marketplace businesses. They will let the service provider go and draw whatever territory they want. And so it can be done both ways.
Great. What type of payments are accepted? Is it easy to set up with MarketBox?
Yeah, so we integrate in with Stripe, and I believe, like, you know, pretty much the vast majority of companies that are using our system do collect payments. And so, you know, it's any major credit card, ACH in the US, each country, we've got companies using us from various countries. So each country has their own specific agreement with Stripe in terms of Stripe fees and various kind of debit cards or ACH, different things that can be used depending on the country. And I mean, it's really interesting because our friends in the UK, they are lucky and they get a very a much lower transaction fee rate than companies that are based in the US and Canada.
Interesting, good to know. Another one here. Can we customize our booking page? So I guess the first screen that showed all the services, for example, you know, font, size, colors.
Yes, so absolutely. That's an area that we've actually added a lot more options in the last few months. So I don't know how many font options there are now. You know, you have the ability to upload your logo and have that logo click back to your marketing website. I think we went through the demo where it's a card style. There's also a list style view of services. So all of your colors and your button colors and font sizes can be changed. So lots of flexibility from that point of view.
Amazing. And the last question I have here in the chat, and then we'll close it off unless anybody wants to put in another question. How long does it take to set up MarketBox?
I'd say for the vast majority of companies that set up with us, so it's very quick. I would say typically within, I mean, most companies will do it kind of over 2 30-minute sessions. Maybe they'll go in, they'll set up. It's really simple to actually go through all of the options and choose what type of configuration is going to work for your business. And then usually what will happen, depending on kind of what package has been purchased, will pair you with an onboarding specialist who will then go over your settings and help make sure that things are set up and ready to go live, point out any kind of configuration flags that they might see that they would recommend might be changed based on your business type. And that, would be another 30 minutes typically. So most businesses that are on our basic and professional plan, that's typical time frame. Enterprise is a little bit more involved because now we're talking about more integrations, maybe some API work that's involved. But on that note, I will say an area that I think, I've talked about the benefits and the importance of having connected systems and being able to use the data that you've got in, say, the MarketBox system and have it feeding into your other systems. There's so many possibilities now. So I encourage everyone to go and look at even Zapier, for example. That's one of our key integrations, and it allows you to connect MarketBox into up to thousands of other systems. And we've seen some really interesting use cases of things that other businesses have done to take the data from MarketBox and connect it into other systems. So for example, we've seen some businesses where they want to make it, easy for their customers to buy online using MarketBox, but they want to ask some more questions that they don't want to ask as part of the booking process to bog down customers and have them bounce off of the website. So they will actually do things like once an order is complete, they will send an automatic via MarketBox Zap. They will send an automatic form that asks to collect additional information. So we've seen that one, for example, really popular with tutoring companies typically.
Fantastic. I don't see any more questions here, but again, anything that you've heard today, if you have any thoughts, want to try anything with your system, or want to try MarketBox as a brand new customer, please feel free to reach out to us. I will close this off shortly, but just as a reminder, please to fill in the survey at the end. Any final thoughts, Diana, before we say goodbye?
Just want to thank everybody that's here live or that will be watching this recording. Hope you find this valuable. And if there's another topic that you would like us to cover in another webinar, let us know. We're open to ideas. Happy to share as much knowledge as possible to help other service businesses grow.
Perfect. Thank you. And thank you for everybody for joining us this afternoon. Again, feel free to reach out anytime and have a great rest of your day.